All right, boys and girls, I'm actually pretty excited to film this because it's been over a year. Last time I did a collection update video, there were only 49 titles in the entire collection, and now it has over tripled. I'm at over 163 physical games. Usually these shelves behind me are full of both consoles and video games. I've taken all of the games, as you probably saw by the thumbnail, off the shelf, and we're going to go through all of them today, and I'm going to do it platform by platform, hopefully in one continuous video where I just get to talk about everything and just kind of go through them. I think I'm going to go platform by platform, so PS1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Vita, PSP. So yeah, start out with PS1. I'm only sitting at 2 PlayStation 1 games. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, which is just goated game. It's the greatest hits version. Not a huge fan of greatest hits version games, even on PS1, and I don't have any of the big PS1 boxes yet. I do want them, just haven't been able to find them just yet, so I'm working on that. And then the other PlayStation 1 game that I remember that was very close to my heart is Road and Track presents The Need for Speed. OG Need for Speed for PS1. It is awesome. This is one of the games that I had on PS2 that I was able to play, and basically the first racing game that I ever played that was like an actual racing game. It was super sick. So yeah, those are the only 2 PlayStation 1 games that I have currently, because I've really been slacking on my PS1 collecting, but you're going to see why here in a second, because all of my other collecting has taken the majority of my time. And we're not done with collection season. I actually have 10 to 20 more things to go that are coming in this week, and then not counting whatever I find at like trade shows and stuff like that in the next few weeks. So we're going to start on going through PS2 games. All of these were in alphabetical order. They're not now. But yeah, we're going to go through them. Shrek the Third, one of my favorite little like arcade games, arcade feeling games. Obviously, we've got disc and manual in there. It's complete. I try to get as many completes as I possibly can, and I try to always check them before I leave. Some games that I don't really care about, I don't do completes for. So next up, we've got a copy of, and I haven't taken all the pricing stickers off of these, so forgive me for that, because I've just been lazy and I haven't done it. Yeah, next up, Resident Evil 4. It's a classic. No manual, because I really didn't care. I was having a really hard time finding a copy of Resident Evil 4 for PS2 where I live. And I try to order as little as possible when it comes to games, because you're never sure like what condition they're going to show up in, or if they get damaged in shipping or anything. So I try to do local and within like 2-hour drives as I can. So sometimes I end up with stuff that doesn't have manuals, but I don't really care about games like that and having the manuals. Next up are the Prince of Persia games. I guess I'll do these in order. So Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, the OG, what some people would consider like the best Prince of Persia game. Definitely my favorite. The puzzles in it were super frustrating, but we got that with complete manual and everything. OG box art. The case is in really good condition, and some of these I bought before I really cared about the condition of the cases. So some of the cases are kind of battered. This is a good example of that. A copy of Prince of Persia: The Warrior Within. It's in decent condition, but the art has somewhat like yellowed and been damaged with like sun and light over time. Complete in box, of course, manual, disc, great set. It's awesome. And then last of the Prince of Persia trilogy for PS2, Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones. This one's probably like the coolest one in terms of art and everything when it comes to the Prince of Persia games. Just because like the Prince and the Dark Prince were super sick and everybody loved them, especially me as a kid. This was my favorite one to play whenever we had it, just because the boss fights and everything were so sick, and they were super worth the time. But yeah, one of the best games ever. Some of these you're going to see as a repeat from the first collection video I did, because I was a little baby collector then and only had like 50 titles. So a lot of these are going to be repeats, just kind of going over the whole collection in its entirety. So yeah, feel free to skip through some of these if you don't want to see some of them. But Peter Jackson's King Kong, the one with the movie ticket inside. Super cool game. Love it. One of my favorite PS2 games of all time. Really wanted the one with the movie ticket in it. I was able to acquire this one with the movie ticket still intact in the case. So that was super awesome. Got the two of my favorite Mortal Kombat games. I don't really play fighting games anymore now that I'm an adult and I'm terrible at them. But we got a copy of Mortal Kombat Deception, one of the best Mortal Kombat games on PS2. Of course, complete. And this one had a lot of mini games and stuff that made it super fun as well. And Mortal Kombat Armageddon. That's our next one. Greatest Hits. Not thrilled about the Greatest Hits box because I like the black art on this one with the shimmery thing. And I'm also missing the manual for this one. It is not complete because this has been another one that's really hard to find where I live. And the case is not in great condition. So I will probably at some point sell this one if I can find a black border case with the shiny and everything on it. Time will tell. We'll see what happens. Next up, my favorite Metal Gear game of all time, MGS3. This is the first Metal Gear game that I played as a child, and of course I had to have this one complete with the manual. The case is a little bit broken. It's missing a clip right here, but that's fine. It doesn't bother me too bad. I had to have this game. I had to have it with the manual and everything because I remember looking through the manual as a kid and like, you know, looking at the comic book voucher that they gave you and everything. And I was just super obsessed with this game for the longest time. And it was one of those things where like it was such a deep game for my age that I didn't really know what I was doing. So kind of got off in the weeds sometimes and got lost not knowing what to do next when I was playing it. But great memories with MGS3. I spent way more time on it than probably was healthy for a 7 or 8 year old to spend time on it, but it's fine. Up next, we have a very good, crazy good condition of G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. Got this from a shop called Retro Raven that you can order from online. I was very surprised. This is more of like a joke game for me because it's not like a good game. It's objectively pretty terrible, but it's, from what I remember, it's like a weird like stick shooter kind of deal. And it's one of those that I'm never going to replay because I just remember how bad it was, but it's not like, I don't know, it's such a weird spot in like my childhood when I had games like this where it was like I was never really into G.I. Joe. I didn't know much about it, but I ended up with the game anyways. I think one of my friends gave it to me or something. Yeah, so I ended up playing that. Next up, one of my favorites of all time that I wish they would remake, the Ghost Rider game for PS2. This one was super sick. For anybody that doesn't remember, this was the one where you could ride your motorcycle, do the motorcycle levels. You could play as Vengeance, you could play as Blade. After you beat the game, you could unlock extra characters and stuff. And it was very like a Devil May Cry-ish with Ghost Rider flair, and it's definitely one of the best superhero games ever made. Don't have a manual for it, which I'm not happy about, but this was before I cared about getting manuals. So one day I will have a complete copy of Ghost Rider with a better condition case because that case is not in very good condition, as you probably just saw. Next up, another one of my favorite games of all time. I'm going to take this out of the little protected sleeve that I have. It's very humid where I live, so I try to keep all my good steel books in sleeves, especially because this one's already a little bit rusted. Final Fantasy XII Collector's Edition for PS2 in the steelbook. Extremely proud of this one. Found this one at a collector's show. I love this steelbook. Final Fantasy XII is my favorite Final Fantasy. I own every remake, every version of it that's been released on other consoles and everything. Of course, this one is complete. It had to be. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but I remember seeing this steelbook as a kid and thinking it was like super duper sick, and never being able to afford it because this was like the most expensive version of the game. And I couldn't understand why at the time of like why the case was just different and it was super expensive. Now I understand, it's collectors. But Yeah, I'm extremely proud of this one. This is one of my favorite pickups that I've had in my entire collection, if I'm being perfectly honest, because it's just something that, like, I go a lot of places, I look on eBay a lot, and I don't see it too often, not in like this good a condition. Like this one's a little rusty, but it's mainly just like time stuff. It's not like hugely damaged where somebody just like didn't take care of it, you know? Sorry for the plastic crackly noises. Yeah, very, very, very glad that I have this one because it's near and dear to my heart. It's a great game. We've got Dragon Ball Z Budokai. I used to have a loose copy of Budokai Tenkaichi 3. I sold it because somebody offered me a really good price for it. One day I'll have a complete copy of Budokai Tenkaichi 3 because that's one of the most sought after games. This copy of Budokai, of course, this is common with a lot of Dragon Ball games, doesn't have the manual. I'm not too pressed about that with this one. I do care about manuals, but certain games I'm just like, all right, I remember I took the manual out as a kid and like trashed it or whatever, so I get that, you know, it's going to happen with other people too. Next up, another kind of like trash, like shovelware kind of game, I guess, is what I would consider this. Civil War: A Nation Divided, PS2. I just really liked this game. It was a really fun like shooter. You got to play through like Civil War stuff. I used to think that like bayonets and like muskets and shit were cool. So, yeah, I was definitely super happy with this game. I played the shit out of it when I was very young. Next up, you've seen this one before, Chronicles of Narnia: Prince Caspian. One of my favorite games as a kid. Complete copy with the mailing slip in the back. Disc is a little damaged. Just cosmetic though, nothing crazy. Looks like somebody tried to toothpaste it or something to fix a scratch, but the disc wasn't really scratched, so it doesn't matter. 2 copies of one of my favorite games of all time, Champions of Norath. Now, can you spot the difference? No? Okay. I'll tell you. This case is in very good shape. This case is in absolutely terrible shape, but they're both worth a decent amount of money. I picked up one of these for $20 at a place, which is really good because these go for about $40 usually if you go off price charting. If you're actually like ordering them off eBay and buying them off eBay, usually they're anywhere between like $29 and $40. So those were 2 really good picks. I've only got 2 copies of it because the game is so near and dear to my heart. I'll probably sell one eventually because I'm not like huge on having duplicates, but when I saw it for $20 and the case was a better condition, I had to get it. You know, it's just one of those things where like I want the best example of whatever it is in my collection. So if I do see like some duplicates and they look really good, I'll go ahead and swing them. Seen this one before, Ben 10, Protector of the Earth, one of the best Ben 10 games. Not in great shape, missing the manual. Another one of those games where when I was a kid, I destroyed the manual too. And I bought that before I cared about manuals, so there's that. The next 4 we have are Lord of the Rings games. All of these are my favorite Lord of the Rings games, of course, for PS2 because there were, I think this is all of them that were for PS2. I could be wrong. Let me know if I am wrong. But first up, we got Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. This was a turn-based, like Final Fantasy style Lord of the Rings game. It was super good. Had to have it complete. It was one of those. Awesome game, still holds up to this day, still super fun. The sound design and everything is badass. Absolutely love it. Next 3 Lord of the Rings titles. Lord of the Rings: Fellowship of the Ring. This one was kind of hard to find at the time. I got kind of lucky that I did find it in good condition at least because I did want the manual. All the Lord of the Rings games I had when I was a kid, I had all the manuals with it. This was before they got into the like super glued to the movie kind of art style and everything, where they were kind of just movie remakes. This is before the EA games. So once EA took over, it got a lot more like movie tie-in. This one was before that, so they're a little bit different stylistically. That's why we have the Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. This game is also kind of confusing for some people because it includes the levels that would be in the movie from the Fellowship of the Ring, just to give you context for stuff. But yep, disc and manual, and all of them should have a sticker saying official Lord of the Rings movie trilogy thing for these cases. most of them anyway should have that left. Unfortunately, sometimes when you find them, like this one's super beat up and super bad condition, this one doesn't have it anymore, and it's also missing the manual. I'm gonna try to find another copy of this eventually, but for right now, this is the only copy of Lord of the Rings Return of the King within like 100 miles of me. So no badge on that one, which is a bummer. No manual, super bummer, but it's cool. We're good. Been in the collection for a long time. Some of the first games that I bought back. Okay, getting more into the kiddie games. Well, some kiddie games, I guess. Lego Indiana Jones, PS2. Another one where I spent a lot of time in it as a child, so I had to have it. I don't know if it's super valuable. I'd have to check the price charting on it, but I don't think it's worth a whole lot. I've started collecting these Jam Pack discs because I remember getting them in the mail and finding them at like Blockbusters and stuff. So I try to get all the ones that have like demos of stuff that I like. This is the only one I've been able to find so far that's like in playable condition. That has like, you know, this one has the God of War 1 demo and the Lego Star Wars demo, right? So I super had to have this just because of those two. It made it worth it. Any other ones that I find, like if I find the one that has like Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wars Battlefront on it, and stuff like that, I'll definitely pick those up as well. But for now, this is all I've been able to get my hands on recently. So it is what it is, but definitely I'm looking for those. And if any of you have any that you want to sell for a decent price, I'd be definitely down to buy them. Next up, we got Iron Man, the official movie game, greatest hits version, manual, disc, complete. Probably still the best Iron Man game to date. It's awesome. It's still really fun. Next up we have Gungrave Overdose. This was super difficult to find. Just completely ridiculous to find. I paid $60 for it because it's worth it to me. I don't know rightly off the top of my head how much it's worth, but yeah, Gungrave Overdose. This is a great game. I'm not going to take it out of the sleeve again because it's annoying to get it back in, but it is absolutely baller. And as for like all the games that I have in sleeves like this, usually I'll either go ahead and make a backup copy of like my super, the ones that are super valuable to me and put them in PSX2 or PCX, PCX, whatever, fucking PlayStation 2 emulator. Usually I'll throw them in there so I don't have to open them and close them a whole lot. Other ones that I'm not like too crazy about or something, or if I want to go back and like play co-op with a buddy or something like that, I've got backwards compatible PS3s. One of them is out to repair, but the CECHB is behind me on the shelf. I'll throw them in there and we'll play them there. So I try to do as little fiddling with like my super high valuable games as possible when I can help it. Next up, two of my favorite games of all time, as you guys know, and you're going to see a lot of God of War happen throughout this entire collection, but God of War 1 and 2, both of them complete, manuals in the cases. If you don't know, you don't know, but with God of War 2, I had to have the dual disc version that came with the DVD as well, just because like I remember watching the bonus content on the DVD as a kid, and it was just like I was so interested in like video game documentaries and like how stuff was made and everything that I had to I wanted to go back and watch it. And I'm actually replaying God of War 1 right now, getting the trophies for it on PS3, so I am re-experiencing all of them. But yeah, the whole point of this collection is just to have like the original experiences that I had as a child, mainly. So you're going to see a lot of nostalgia, and you're going to see a lot of stuff that I just think is cool now, which is sick. And a lot more stuff on the way. So trust me, there'll be another video probably after this, like towards the end of this year, with more stuff that didn't make it into this video. But we're going to go through 163 games today. So, you know, buckle up. It's going to be a minute. But next up, Tony Hawk's Underground 2. Still looking for Tony Hawk's Underground 1 in good condition because I want the manual and everything. And when I say good condition, I want it like perfect, like this one. Like this one still got the Blockbuster rental sticker on the front of it. It's super sick. I love it. Attack and the Power of Juju. Not a very valuable game. Not highly sought after. Kind of obscure the more that I look for it. But one of my favorite games of all time. Took me forever to find this, like a full copy of it in the case. I don't think I had this when I did that last video. I think I only had the disc. I didn't have the case with the manual and everything, but that's really what I wanted, was the manual and all that, because once again, when I was a kid, you know, not actually playing the games, when you're on like car rides or whatever, you take the manual with you and you're just reading through like the little ads and reading the manual and everything, you know, and sometimes you would learn something, but a lot of the times I wasn't actually paying attention and I just wanted to look at the pictures, if I'm being honest, but it is what it is. Next up, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. One of the best Star Wars games of all time. Had a really cool just regular level mode and a really cool duel mode. I'm not really into fighting games or dueling games anymore, but this one is super awesome. It's just one of those that it still holds up, honestly. But yeah, disc is a little schmutz on it or whatever, but nothing crazy. And yeah, super sick game. Next, Star Wars. The Lego Star Wars 2, the original trilogy. Another super fun game. I actually prefer all the old Lego games over all the new stuff that we have. I think all the new Lego games are trash. The old Lego games are badass. Another baller, banger, absolute good one, Star Wars Force Unleashed. Had to have this one in a good condition case because this is one of my favorites of all time. Played the absolute shit out of it. And it's just awesome baller Star Wars game. If you've never played it, I highly recommend it. Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2. Ba-ba-da-ba. These were crazy good for their time. Still are really good. Now we've got the newer Star Wars Battlefronts, which try to peak the glory that these games were at, but they just don't manage. And I feel like if we lived in a world without microtransactions, these games would be so easy to remake and make them good, but you know, we have greed. Spartan Total Warrior. I just played this one the other day. No manual for this one, unfortunately. Played the absolute shit out of it past week or so. Two stupid games that I don't have the controllers or anything for. I'm gonna get them eventually and put them in the hardware collection, but SingStar Pop and SingStar Rocks. I didn't need manuals for these. I don't think either one has them. I didn't check. Oh, this one actually has the manual. Okay. So Rocks doesn't have the manual, Pop does. I didn't need either one of these. I just really wanted them because we had them when I was a kid and they were fun. So, I mean, I was like, fuck it, why not? I saw them for a good price. And then all that's left on the PS2 side of things is superhero stuff. So X-Men Origins Wolverine, and this is one of the best X-Men games of all time. Really just, I guess, best Wolverine game. Hopefully the new Insomniac games live up to this, but I doubt that they will. X-Men, the official game. This is a badass game. You got to play as all the X-Men. It was super sick. This one has a damaged manual, which doesn't bother me too hard, but you know, could be better, but it's kind of the best that I can find around here, which is unfortunate. Next up, X-Men Legends 2. I like this one because it had like the Ultimate Alliance style of play where you had like a bunch of people to a team and then you could like build your team out or whatever. Yeah, super good game. Don't really care about the manual because I never had it when I was younger, so, or didn't really care about the manual when I first bought it, I guess. This one's still sealed for some reason. I don't know why. I'm gonna unseal this actually. Some of the games that I have come in these sleeves, which I always appreciate it when retailers send them to me sleeved, but it's not entirely necessary except for, you know, super high value stuff. X-Men Legends 1, just like X-Men Legends 2. It's a really good fucking game. I love it. It's super fun. The games like this and Ultimate Alliance, which we're about to get to, are games that I could go back and replay like infinitely. They just click with me for some reason, and I could just sink hours into them. And these two I hunted down for a long time. I don't know if either of these were in the first video. They may have been. But Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2 for PS2, black border cases. These are two of my favorite games of all time, and specifically the PS2 versions of them are my favorites. And both of them have manuals, which I'm super duper proud of with these. They are awesome, 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 awesome superhero video games. If you have the chance to like get them in an emulator or something like that, I would 100% do it. They're great games. They're still kind of lengthy, even by today's standards, I guess, for the kind of game that it is. But there's so much content packed into those games that it's worth every penny. It's worth every minute that you spend in that world. Super sick. We're probably never going to see Marvel stuff that good again. So, as unfortunate as that is, that's kind of just how stuff works. So I think now that we got PS2 out of the way, let's go back to another short portion of the collection and do the handhelds. Okay, for the handhelds, I'm going to kind of call myself out a little bit. I'm really bad at handheld collecting because everything for Vita and PSP is like ridiculously overpriced. So I kind of just try to find like cool stuff at a decent discount when I can. But I don't go out of my way to hunt for it because usually the stuff that piques my interest is going to be really expensive. So I got lucky with what I do have. Little Big Planet PS Vita, really wanted that game. I got super lucky picking this up from Retro Raven the other day. This one's complete. I'm not going to take it out of the sleeve because I want to keep it in the sleeve. And then Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. These are not the only two PS Vita games I had as a kid, because that's usually what I go for is whatever I had. There's no paper or leaflet for this one either. But the other games, like I said, they're really expensive. So until I find like a really good deal on other games I want for the Vita, like Resistance, Call of Duty Declassified, games like that, I'm not really going to go out of my way to hunt them down. Moving on from Vita to PSP, we got another copy of X-Men Legends 2, Rise of Apocalypse. Picked this up at a store called Steel Collectibles in Kennesaw, and it was in really good condition, so I kind of just had to have it. And I'm trying to bolster my PSP collection anyways, because I have one on the shelf, and I didn't play a lot of PSP. A lot of my friends had them. I didn't really have one. I had to borrow one anytime I wanted to play PSP games. And speaking of having to borrow a PSP to play games, Spider-Man Web of Shadows complete for PSP. Not going to take it out of the sleeve because it's a pain in the ass to find it, and it's in really good condition, so I don't want to goof it. Same thing with Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 for PSP. You're going to see that I own a lot of games twice because I just want every version of the game that came out, because I tried to play every version of the games that came out over the years, where possible. And that leads us to, another Tony Hawk's Underground 2 for Remix for PSP. And I was playing this the other night. It's really fun. I didn't think a dual stick skateboarding game was going to translate very well to PSP, because PSP controls are kind of hit or miss when it comes to ports. But this was good. This actually plays really well. So it's awesome. It works out. So yeah, that's PS2. And now we're going to go to my probably most favorite platform, PlayStation 3. Okay, PS3, my absolute favorite one that I'm super excited to talk about. PS4 and PS5 are coming after this too, but the PS3 era was my era. This is when like all of like the coolest new like 3D games and stuff came out when I was a kid, and they're just I love PS3 so much. Okay, so we're gonna start I guess at the bottom and go to the top. Yeah. Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions complete. Not going to take it out of the sleeve because you know what it is. This is a $90 game at best. Recently found this yesterday for a decent price that I could buy it for. So super, super grateful to get that. Yeah, one of the best Spider-Man games of all time. First Spider-Man game that I ever played on PlayStation 3, and the graphics difference between Spider-Man 2 PS2 and that on PS3 was crazy good. Next up, the OG Space Marine. Not going to take it out of the sleeve, but it is complete. It's just the original Space Marine game. It's awesome. I mean, it's badass. If you like Space Marine 2 that just recently came out, you're going to love Space Marine 1, because Space Marine 1 was that shit, just with orcs instead of the other Xenos. Next, we have Star Wars Force Unleashed 2. Case isn't in great condition. This is another one of my favorite Star Wars games of all time. Played the absolute hell out of it. But I do have the version with the manual and the trading card still intact, which is awesome. It is specifically what I went out of my way to find, and I found it at a trade show. It was sick. Next up, we have Skyrim Legendary Edition, because it has to be. If you don't have the Legendary Edition of Skyrim for PS3, were you a PS3 kid? This one, I don't really, I didn't look before I bought it, so it's kind of my fault, but it's got a Greatest Hits disc with a regular case. So that's my bad. I should have checked before I took it home, but it's fine. It's Skyrim. There's a million copies of it. It's probably not going to be worth a whole lot because they've remade it so many times, so it doesn't bother me too bad. Next up, a sealed copy of the Silent Hill HD collection. Picked this up for a pretty decent price. I'm not going to unseal this because I have other copies of Silent Hill digitally that I could play. But yeah, Silent Hill, I found this randomly in like a bin, still sealed. It was a super lucky grab, but super happy that I did. And speaking of lucky grabs, Silent Hill Homecoming in good condition, completely sealed, not going to take it out of the sleeve. Not worth a whole lot, but worth a whole lot to me. I just remember seeing this all the time in game stores, and my mom would never let me get it. Now that I'm 25, 26, I know why, but at the time I was really mad that I wasn't allowed to play any Silent Hill games because Silent Hill was the shit. I mean, everybody in my grade was talking about it and they loved it, so I was a little behind the curve on that. Our next three are pretty cool. We've got Resistance Fall of Man complete. This one the case is sealed on. Not gonna rip the seal on this one just yet. I'm gonna save that for another video. Same thing for Resistance 2. Complete in box. I just wanted this full set because I had the full set of games. And then we've got Resistance 3, and I can actually open Resistance 3 and show you the manual and everything. This is the first game I ever actually platinumed. Because if you got trophies, I remember there were some like pretty cool unlocks if you actually went through and got all the trophies. So it was kind of worth doing trophies for, but I didn't have internet when I first got a PlayStation 3. So whatever was local was what I had. So I didn't even know about the multiplayer or any of that stuff until like years and years later. But Resistance holds a special place in my heart because of it being one of the first 4 games I had on PlayStation 3 that I got for Christmas when I got my PlayStation 3. Which I'll tell that story in another video. Next up, Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year Edition. So this is the one with the base game and Undead Nightmare bundled. I just really wanted this copy because I had it when I was younger. I really like Undead Nightmare. I just replayed some of it recently. I bought it on PC and was playing it on PC. Probably will go back and play this on PlayStation 3 just for the trophies because I'm kind of... Every time we get to this time of year, I'm always like doing 2 things. I'm like, I want to bolster the collection and I want to play through as many games as possible and get as many platinums. And I'm not like Mystic Ryan level platinum, but I am going to try to like platinum God of War 1, 2, and 3, 2018 and Ragnarok. That's my goal for this season, right? Like and I say season, like February to June for like doing video game collecting stuff. So. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. Prototype 2, I believe I just picked this up yesterday. Can't remember. Did I get it yesterday? Yeah, I did. Okay, I'm looking at the barcode. Yeah, Prototype 2, picked it up yesterday. No manual in that one, unfortunately. But I never had the manual anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Still need Prototype 1, but there's no like good condition cases of that. God of War collection. The disc is missing out of this one because I'm currently playing back through them again on PS3, but the manual's still in there. The God of War collection only had God of War 1 and God of War 2 on the disc. I'm actually going to leave this aside because I am in the middle of playing it. You can't see it, but my TV and PC and everything are over here with the console set up to play. But Dante's Inferno, God of War knockoff. Kind of fitting that it's right after the God of War. There's going to be more God of War games in this list. They just got all kind of jumbled up when I was taking them off of the shelf. This one's got all the marketing material and everything behind the manual. So for like the Blu-ray box set and everything. Let me see if I can do this in front of the camera. The Blu-ray box set and all that stuff. Also has like the Army of Two ad. This one was just a blast from the past. It was in super good condition. I'm really a stickler for like buying things that... or games that look like they haven't been like touched, like they're kind of time capsule-y. So like obviously this is like weathered with time or whatever, but it's gone, you know, mostly undamaged throughout all of it. So you know, everything on the inside is still good and still cool to look at. So it just gives you a little glimpse into the year that the games came out. Next up, we've got two of my favorite shooters of all time, Call of Duty Black Ops 1 and 2, if I can figure out how to hold a game case. In as good a condition as you can expect. These were very popular games, got passed around a lot. This has all the marketing material, manuals, all that good stuff. Yeah, two of like the best Call of Duty games ever made. And I still sometimes go back and play bots on Call of Duty Black Ops 2, I'm not gonna lie, because bots on Black Ops 2 were badass, and Black Ops 2 still has like some of the coolest marketing material of all time in PlayStation history. Fight me about it. Just picked these two up yesterday. We've got Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, both of which I will do a trophy hunt on one day. So hopefully I will have the platinums for these on my account. We will see if they shut down the trophy surface before I get there. Borderlands 1, I was not able to acquire a manual. Bummed me out, but I'm never able to find a copy with a manual, so I just gave up. Borderlands 2, I actually got the manual in it. And I'm sure some of these games didn't even come with manuals, and I'm kind of like overthinking it, but from what I remember, a lot of PS3 did. I'm going to shuffle these around a little bit, actually, because now I can see where they kind of got messed up. Give me 2 seconds. All right, so now we're going to start off with all of the others on PS3. We've got Aragorn's Quest, another Lord of the Rings game that was really cool. It used PlayStation Move. I got the PlayStation Move when I got a PS3 originally. So it was kind of cool to play this. And I don't remember what the marketing material in this one was. Oh, okay. It was like for the Lord of the Rings like box sets and everything, and coupons for like save $10 on doing the Lord of the Rings box set on Blu-ray. That's actually funny because I have the box sets sitting behind me on my shelf below me down there. So that's pretty cool. I didn't actually look at that when I bought this. I just knew it had it in there. I didn't know what it was. Super cool, super cool. Next, we've got Assassin's Creed 1. Classic, still one of my favorite games of all time. Started an addiction. This one is in pristine condition, basically brand new. So, very rare to find a case in that good a condition when it comes to Assassin's Creed games. Assassin's Creed 2, of course, the beginning of Ezio Auditore. One of the, once again, best Assassin's Creed games. All the ones on PS3 were bangers, I'm not going to lie to you. They didn't start getting bad until later in the series. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Bada bing, bada boom. No manual for this one. I don't know why, actually. I think I may have just forgotten to check because I was maybe having an off day or something. Let's fix this case art while I have it out. Very odd that it doesn't have the manual, though. Usually... Okay. Assassin's Creed Revelations. This is the one that also came with a copy of Assassin's Creed 1. Only bought this version of it, because this is once again what I had. So, yeah, super cool. So, yeah, there you go. It's awesome. Next, Assassin's Creed 3, one of my favorites of all time. Assassin's Creed games stay pretty cheap, which is cool. But this is another one that had all the material in it, and I really wanted it because it had the Uplay passport and all the like Ubisoft stuff that we had when we were kids. So you got your PlayStation Plus free trial, Uplay passport, and then the game itself, and then a code for like an exclusive PS3 mission, which was cool. So yeah, super sick. They used to do really cool promotional content with games back then. Now it's gotten less and less, but this game is still one of the best of all time, in my opinion. I was really excited when 3 came out, and I was even more excited when Black Flag released. I wish I would have held on to the brand new copy that I had when I was younger, because I bought it at Walmart. I made my mom buy it for me after I did a bunch of yard work, because I really wanted it. And this is one of those games where you get your vouchers for everything. So once again, 2014 had in between PS3 and PS4, so get all your content. And then there was also additional gameplay to unlock with Liberation stuff. as part of it. And if any of you guys want to like pause the video and use any of these codes or anything, feel free. I have absolutely no qualms with it. Doesn't bother me at all. For those of you that are still playing on PS3, if any of these services are still up, be super sick. Next, Assassin's Creed Rogue. This was after Black Flag, before Unity. It fills that gap in. This one's still sealed, actually. I'm not going to open it, but it does have the manual and everything in it. I don't know why I haven't opened this yet. I guess I haven't replayed this one yet. But yeah, Assassin's Creed Rogue, super sick. Love it, love it, love it. All right, now we're going to get into some more superhero games. And then the rest of it's going to be classic stuff, which, I mean, this is classic too. But X-Men Origins Wolverine, not pulling it out of the sleeve. This is a complete copy. This is a rare game for those of you that collect. Especially rare to find in extremely good condition. So, one of my favorites of all time. If the new Insomniac X-Men Origins Wolverine, or X-Men Origins Wolverine, I'm having a stroke. If the new Marvel's Wolverine game doesn't live up to this, we're doomed as a society. Like, we're fucked completely. Like, nothing good is going to happen if they screw that up. Next, we have 2 cases that I haven't cleaned yet, but Marvel's Ultimate Alliance Uno and Dos for PlayStation 3. 2 of my favorite games of all time. Manual. And manual. I made extra sure that all the Ultimate Alliance stuff had the manual and everything with it, because I want the sets to be complete. Next up, we've got The Last of Us, legendary game, especially now seeing what it's turned into. I forget when this came out. What year did this release? 2012? 2013? I can't remember off the top of my head. But I remember playing The Last of Us. This is also complete. When I got it from Redbox, I finished this game in a 24-hour period. I played it straight through in one day. I stayed up all night to finish it because we had to return it the next day. I know I've told that story before, but that's what I got acquainted with when it came to The Last of Us. So this one's a little weird. I found this the other day, but this is a Journey Collector's Edition. I like Journey, and I was looking for a copy of it, but I didn't know that they released this this bundle where it had like Flow and Flower with it. And I thought it was really cool. It was like a different variant of like the box art and everything. So I did make sure to pick it up because I don't see it all that often with all the places that I go. But it is super awesome to see that. I like Journey a lot. It was a big deal when it came out. A sealed copy of Infamous 2. Obviously not going to open it because it is sealed. There's a little bit of damage on the packaging, but nothing crazy. But this has never been opened. Not going to be opened for a very long time. I'm actually going to put this in a spare sleeve while we are goofing off, because I keep forgetting to do that. But yeah, this is one of the greatest PlayStation franchises of all time. They kind of tried to revive it on PS4 whenever they did Infamous Second Son. But it didn't really, like, at least in my opinion when I played back through them, it didn't really live up to the original games. It was kind of fell flat for me. Next up, Legendary. This is still in a sleeve too. I believe this one's new. Is it new? Some of these I haven't opened before. I think it is new. No, this one's used. Okay. Well, I struggle to get this out. We've got God of War 3. Yeah, God of War 3 is goated. Super good condition case. Love God of War 3. It's the best. It's the sickest version of God of War. Kratos at his most brutal before he became a dad. But yeah, God of War 3, super sick, super goated. Next up, God of War. Why are these in sleeves? I don't know why these are in sleeves. Because I don't put these in sleeves. I must have bought them in sleeves. Next up, we got the God of War Origins collection. This was both of the PSP games included on a disc. Mainly have it to like complete the set, but Maybe one day I'll go back and platinum the PSP games, but I don't really have it on the radar for right now because I didn't really play these a whole lot when they were out and they were like a bigger thing. So I'm not like super keen to go and do it, but it's a possibility. Now we have God of War Ascension, the prequel. I'm not a huge fan of this game. This is the only God of War game where I'm like, I can take it or leave it. Just 100% could take it or leave it. I was not a fan of God of War Ascension when it came out. Still not a huge fan of it all these years later. I think this was a 2013 game. I gotta check real quick. Yeah, this was a 2013 game. Just not a huge fan of Ascension. Ascension wasn't very good. I think I already flashed this to the camera, but I'll do it again if not, just in case. But this is going to be the only God of War game that I don't platinum because it has multiplayer trophies, and obviously I don't have access to the multiplayer now all these years later, which is kind of a bummer, but I'm willing to take that because I don't really I think everybody tries to forget about this game. Like Santa Monica did what they could, but I don't think anybody's really looking at God of War Ascension and be like, oh my god, this is has to be in my trophy list or whatever. I've got a few trophies from it, but not going to be able to platinum it unless I took 2 of my PS3s and networked them together, and it'd just be too much of a headache. Next up, Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. This is the Ultimate Evil Edition. This is just Battle.net material, but I think complete. For that, I can't remember if I had a booklet or not when it came out. Next up, 2 of my favorite games, Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide. I do need to go back and platinum both of these. Not a fan of the greatest hits case that I have with Dead Island 1, but once again, it's one of those things that you try to find a good condition version of it. You kind of just take what you can get. Because you're not always going to be able to find them pristine, but I do my best. And then Riptide, I already showed you the front of the art. Didn't play Riptide a whole lot. It was more of like a DLC kind of deal, is what it felt like. Oh yeah, there's a digital strategy map and everything in this one. This one's complete, but it was kind of, I don't know, Riptide was weird. Riptide was a super weird game. It was like they fixed stuff from the first game, but it was still like the first game, just reskin. It just felt like a DLC, and you had to buy it separately. It was odd. It was an odd time for Dead Island, but it is what it is. Next up, Dark Souls 2. My least favorite Souls game of all time. I fucking can't stand Dark Souls 2. I hate it. I absolutely hate Dark Souls 2. Not complete because I didn't care. I really did not want... I kind of got Dark Souls 2 just for the sake of completion, but... I feel like I'm missing a game or two somewhere, but yeah, never actually went back and completed any of Dark Souls 2 because I have PTSD surrounding that game so bad. Next up, before I forget about it, we have the Wonderbook Book of Spells for PS3. Found this in a collector's shop somewhere. I can't remember where. Where was it? Full Circle in Georgia, Noonan, Georgia. Just hadn't seen it in a long time, and it was super, super sick. It was a really cool Hogwarts game that you could play with the PlayStation camera and everything. And look up Mystic Ryan on YouTube. He did a video with the Wonderbook and everything. But the Wonderbook was just a really cool piece of tech that PlayStation had that I thought was super neat, and I wanted it to be part of my collection because I try to have all the history and everything included with as much as I can grab. So super sick. Next up, we got some duplicates. Prince of Persia trilogy. I love the Prince of Persia games a lot. I really got this just so I can trophy hunt Prince of Persia games at some point. Haven't gotten around to it yet, but hopefully at some point I'll be able to get to it and knock all the trophies out on these guys. Because I love Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia's sick. It always has been. Oblivion. This one's in a sleeve. I mainly bought this. I don't think it's complete. This is missing the manual. I don't want to open this, but I mainly bought this because I wanted the Oblivion physical copy for PS5, and I wanted a full set. So I wanted the original print and the PS5 print, and I don't think, we'll check here in a minute, I don't think my PS5 print has come in, but we'll see. Next up, one of my favorites of all time, Mortal Kombat 9. Awesome, awesome, awesome game. They had a special thing on here where you could play as Kratos, but also with the game you got cards that have not been redeemed, which I think is really cool, and I'm not going to open these because preservation and all that, but these have not been redeemed, not even peeled, for the Mileena Classic character costume and the Combat Pass to access online features for Mortal Kombat 9, which is super, super sick. And being able to play as Kratos and everything was awesome. And you also get the cool Mortal Kombat catalog as well in the case. It's just super sick. Mortal Kombat 9 was such a vibe. Me and all my friends played it. We were all like huge super fans. We played the shit out of this game. This was the last fighting game that I was actually like good at and could make any headway at. And now I'm just like terrible at fighting games all around. So it is what it is. Next up, Metal Gear Solid HD Collection. Got Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 in there. Obviously, huge MGS3 fan. Super awesome. Complete. Don't know how much I paid for this, but I remember getting a really good deal on it. So I went ahead and picked it up because I wasn't really looking for it that day. Next up, two of my favorite Lord of the Rings games. Lord of the Rings War of the North. This was a cool, like, party-based, create-your-own fellowship kind of game that Snowblind developed. One of the last, like, really cool independent... I don't know if I'm holding this too close to the camera or not. One of the last, like, really cool independent... not independent, but, like, novel Lord of the Rings game ideas. It was really, really cool. Really enjoyed that. I remember watching a lot of YouTube videos of a guy playing through War in the North back before like playthroughs were like a super popular thing. And I watched every single video of it way before I had a PS3. And then when I got a PS3 for Christmas like 2 years later, I was like, oh my God, I got to find this game. Begged for this forever and finally got my hands on it, played through it in one fell swoop when I was a kid. It was awesome. I absolutely love War in the North. Still holds up to this day. Speaking of holding up to this day, if you are a fan of Battlefront or Battlefront 2 on any platform, you will remember Lord of the Rings Conquest. This was a hard game to find. This is complete. I'm not going to take it out of the sleeve because it was a hard game to find in good condition. Lord of the Rings Conquest was basically just a... trying to think of how you would explain it. Like, it was a Battlefront game style set in Lord of the Rings world, and it was badass. You could play as like archers, mages, everybody had their own skill set, all that good stuff, and it was super sick. Last two on the billet, or last four I should say, because technically one of these is 3 games in one. Lair, a notoriously bad launch PlayStation 3 title, but I had it. I thought it was cool, and of course it has the PSP ad stuff in there as well as the manual. And yeah, crazy to think that PSPs are more expensive now than they were when they were actually being sold, but that's the nature of things. Yeah, it's awesome. I love Lair. Even though it's a terrible game and it's really hard to play, it holds a special place because I remember buying it by accident. Me and my buddy like sitting in his room one night trying to figure out how to do the access controls, and it just like wasn't clicking. So we struggled with that one a good bit, but it was fun. Next up, the Killzone trilogy. Just bought this yesterday. Paid $40 for it, which is a pretty good price, honestly, for this. Where we are located. No manual, but it is the golden PlayStation discs, and I've got more of these sets coming in for like Uncharted and God of War, because I really like the PlayStation collection style prints. They were really, really cool. They didn't do too many of them. Most of them were for first party stuff, but the ones I can get my hands on for a reasonable price, I'm definitely going to. So I'm gonna keep hunting those down as time goes. But without further ado, we're gonna go from PS3 on to PlayStation 4. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright guys, you might notice that the shelves behind me are back full of stuff, and the shot's a little bit different, and that's because when I was filming the entire PS4 section of this video, the footage got corrupted and subsequently deleted. So, one more time for me, first time for you. We're going to run through these PS4 games, and we're going to talk about them just like we have everything else. So, first up, we have Anthem. This is a game I wish would have survived. Unfortunately, it got shut down. It didn't do terribly well when it released, but me and my friends had a lot of fun on it, put a lot of hours into this game. Anthem was super sick. It was a little lackluster in a lot of areas, I will admit, but it was pretty good if you were into like mech suits and stuff like that. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Probably my favorite Assassin's Creed on the RPG side of things. Probably not my favorite Assassin's Creed of all time. That title goes to Black Flag, as I'm sure a lot of you probably also share that sentiment. Next up, we got Assassin's Creed Origins. Same thing, probably my second favorite in the RPG side of things when it comes to the Assassin's Creed games. Super huge fan of Origins. It was really, really good when it came out. Super excited for it when it did drop. Got Assassin's Creed Syndicate here. This was the one that was set in the UK. You got to play as Jacob and Evie Fry. Wasn't a huge fan of this one. I played it, got almost to the end of it, and just lost interest completely because I didn't like the whole jumping back and forth thing between characters. They kind of lost me on that, but other than that, it was a good game. It was pretty cool to play as Jacob and run around and do like the punch 'em up, beat 'em up sections and stuff like that. It was pretty sick, but overall, not my favorite Assassin's Creed. Next up, we got Assassin's Creed Unity. This was a really good game. It wasn't as good as they advertised it being. It kind of flopped. But I remember, 4 or 5 years after it released, me and my friends actually found it to be pretty fun when we had nothing else to do, just going through and like finishing missions together. It was pretty sick. Had some pretty good replayability if you were able to ignore all of the jank that it possessed. But overall, it was pretty good. Next up, we got Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This was the first title I owned on PS4 that was eligible for a PS5 upgrade. Hence, I don't own the PS5 version of it. Yeah, it was pretty good game. It's pretty lengthy. This is one of the few like RPG Assassin's Creed games that I finished completely, and I was very disappointed with the ending. I didn't like Valhalla a whole lot. When I got to the ending, I was pretty pissed. Felt like I wasted my time. But all in all, it was a decent game. It felt very weird though, and kind of like they were just reintroducing the Assassin's plotline and everything. It was kind of odd, but for the time, it was pretty good. As an RPG, it was pretty good. Next up, we have probably some of the worst ports on PS4. Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition and Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition. I mainly bought these because I'm going to get a physical copy of Baldur's Gate 3 for PS5, and I want the set to be complete. So naturally, even though this isn't the best experience playing the game, I still wanted it on the shelf to finish the set, just because I'm kind of weird about that kind of stuff. I like having the full series and everything if I can of games, and some of them I'm still getting my hands on. Speaking of full series, we have BioShock The Collection. This is all 3 BioShock games in one go. I like these little disc sets, any collection sets that I can get, because it saves shelf space, and usually also it saves money. And if you can get these like remasters that are really well done for newer consoles, why not? Honestly, it's not going to be in every case. It's not like this, but when I tried to go back and replay the OG BioShock games on PS3, or if I try to go back and play them on PC, they're not great. These remasters and stuff kind of do a good job sometimes, and they're worth the time of day, depending on the game and what they're doing. Next, we got Bloodborne. Great Souls game, goated, legendary. If you know, you know. One of the best PlayStation exclusive games ever to be evered. It is awesome. We love Bloodborne. This is a Bloodborne household. Goated series. Next up, we've got Dark Souls Remastered. I try to avoid the duplicates like I was saying, so I don't have the original Dark Souls, but I do have the remastered version of it. Just because I don't want to have multiple copies of Dark Souls. I wasn't a huge fan of the very first game, but I do own all 3 of them now in one form or another. Dark Souls 3, the Fire Fades edition, it's a complete edition. Really good quality case. I think I picked this up brand new, and it was still sealed and I opened it. I'm not 100% sure because I can't remember, but this seems like a case that I've unsealed myself. But Dark Souls 3, amazing game. Haven't gotten to play all the way through it. I got stuck at a portion and kind of ran out of time to dabble with it. But I will return to it sooner than later. Next up, we got another goated PlayStation title, Days Gone. Great first-party title from Bend Studio over there at PlayStation. And Days Gone is just an awesome like zombie biker game. And now we've got Days Gone Remastered. I do own it. I did get it. Definitely worth a playthrough. Any of these remasters where it like bumps the frame rate up to 60 FPS. A lot of the big crowds are smoother and stuff now. Definitely recommend playing it that way. I'd say it's the definitive way to play it. But the original game, you load it back up on PS4 Pro, still not that bad. So to each their own. Depends on what you prefer. But highest fidelity, I'd get the remastered. Next up, we got Dead Cells. Gotta have a copy of Dead Cells in the collection in one form or another. I have it on PC as well, but this is the game that got me to fall in love with roguelites. Roguelites, whatever. Absolutely love Dead Cells. This kind of like paved the way for my Hades addiction, which I'm sure I'm going to talk about at some point later in the video. But Hades and Dead Cells are really the two that like really got me into roguelites. Love them, love them, love them. Got Destiny 1. Destiny 1 was goated. Started a whole generation of live service gamers. I was one of them. Not so sorry to say. We love Destiny 1. Didn't play a whole lot of it because I got on it on the back end of it, but I have played a lot of Destiny 2. Now, you may notice I have the Steelbook. That's because I actually have the limited edition version of it. The Steelbook comes with it. I still wanted a case on the shelf. If you guys want to see what comes in this limited edition, the camera should focus on it, but there it is for you. I'm not going to unbox the whole thing because I don't want to damage anything. But Steelbook of Destiny 2 goes on the shelf. Destiny 2, I played the absolute shit out of. I absolutely love Destiny 2. This is way before it went free to play or anything like that. I have fallen out of it since then. Sorry to say. I'm actually going to stick these back on the shelf real quick. But I spent a ton of time in Destiny 2. It grabbed me, had its hooks in me, and would not let go for the better part of a year after it came out. That would be just all I would do in my free time. And anybody that used to watch my Twitch channel probably knows that I would live stream the game a lot. Like a lot. Spent a ton of time in that. Next up, we got the Doom series. Everything that was released on PS4 to my knowledge. We got Doom Slayers Collection. So this is Doom 1, 2, 3, and 2016 in one package. And I wanted this mainly for the box art and to have a complete set of the OG Doom games as well. This one still has the poster and the controller wrap and everything in it. But I'm really hard on keeping complete sets where I can. So we got that. We got Doom 2016 to follow. Standalone. Really love the case art for 2016. I remember when this came out and this became like the premier like benchmark game for PCs and stuff that year. It was super sick. And then we got Doom Eternal, which dethroned 2016. A lot of people didn't like this one because the traversal changed, but I still thought it was fine. I'm still a big fan of the Doom series, but that's just me. You know, I'm not too terribly picky, but it is what it is. To each their own, to each their own. Next up, we got Dying Light, The Following. The Following, probably one of the best DLCs for a game that I have ever played to this day. This still has a GameStop receipt and everything else in it, and a thanks from the devs and all that good stuff. But Dying Light, one of the best zombie games of all time, developed in part by some of the same people that worked on Dead Island. So a lot of the DNA is shared there. Very good game, absolutely amazing game. And speaking of amazing games, we have another copy of Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age Remastered for PS4. It's just so good. Final Fantasy 12 is good in whatever flavor you give it to me, you know? We are a Final Fantasy 12 household. Absolutely 100% love it. This game's actually really hard still, like as an adult. But it's kind of the risk you take when you're playing Final Fantasy games. Next up, we got Ghost of Tsushima. Goated game. You're going to see this again in the PS5 run. Because I've got the Director's Cut on PS5 as well. Good enough that I own it 3 times. PC, PS4, and PS5. Yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is awesome. It's absolutely awesome. One of the better PlayStation first-party titles, especially for Sucker Punch Studios and them doing Ghost of Yotei. Those guys are just so good over there. Haven't got to play Ghost of Yotei yet, but I'm hoping to soon. It looks sick. Next up, my favorite, my boy, God of War, Kratos and Atreus hanging out there. God of War 2018. Great game. If you haven't played it and you own a PlayStation, you have got to play it. This game goes on crazy sale all the time. That's the good thing about games that sell extremely well, is there's millions of copies out there and they're not terribly hard to find. I would 100% pick up a copy of God of War if you get the chance. And if you get lost in what happened right before 2018, no worries, because you get the best version of God of War 3 Remastered for PS4. I still play this remastered a lot, and I now have to platinum this remastered and the original PS3, which kind of pisses me off, but it's fine. So I'll let you look at that there. Yeah, God of War 3 Remastered is basically just God of War 3 with all the costumes and everything like that. All the DLC stuff is included with it, and it runs at 60 FPS, I think. I'm not sure. I would have to double check that, but it does run a lot smoother. There's not a lot of hitches that I've noticed when playing the remastered versus the OG version, but really love God of War 3. Really love God of War in general, obviously. You've seen it so many times. Next up, this was a launch title for PS4, Killzone Shadowfall. This was a great game when it came out. I liked it a lot, at least. It was pretty cool to play it with the DualShock 4 and everything. I wasn't really like a Killzone fan in terms of like playing the games, because I never really owned them when I was younger, but I was a huge fan of like watching YouTubers play through the Killzone games and like watching them do all the like crazy stuff you do, like stabbing people in the eye socket. And I remember playing the Killzone 3 demo over and over and over and over and over again, just because I loved it so much, but I never got the game, so we couldn't afford it. So my introductory to Killzone was YouTube, whenever I could spare it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to going and playing all the Killzone games and kind of getting to live through that. It's going to be cool. Next up, we got Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain. Haven't gotten to play all the way through this yet. I've seen plenty of footage of it over the years. I absolutely love Kojima. I love Konami. I am a Metal Gear Solid fan, even though I am lost through 90% of the series. It is too complicated, and a lot of it goes over my head. I'm going to go ahead and throw this stack back on the shelf. I love Kojima to death, but he is still one of the most confusing and fascinating human beings on this planet. If Death Stranding is anything to go by, the likes of his genius are never going to be seen again. At least not in our lifetime. And coming to think of it, Kojima's been around for a really, really long time, longer than I've been alive, literally, which is insane to think about. But next, we've got one of my favorites, the PS4 Ultimate Edition of Red Dead 2. I'm not going to open this because the sleeve is kind of fragile, but it's in this like paper-bound box. And it is a steelbook. I guess I can open it. I just really hope I don't damage it, because there's a map and the steelbook in here. But this is badass. So you get your state map and everything. I absolutely love this one. It's one of my favorites of all time. And then you get your red Rockstar and your Red Dead 2 steelbook. And it's so nice. It's so nice. Then inside it is fully complete. So you get your install disc and your data disc. It's just an awesome, 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 awesome way to have this game. One of my favorites of all time. This made 2018 bearable, basically. I remember having a really hard time of it, and being able to come home and play this after work, and it was really, really, really good. So super awesome. Next up, we got Saints Row the Third Remastered. This is why I don't have a PS3 copy, because just get the remastered version if I can. Case could be in a better condition, honestly, but you know, this is a pretty popular game that's probably been through many hands, so not too pissed at it, but it might be a candidate for a case swap. Next up, for two of my faves, Shadow of Mordor. Very nice Lord of the Rings universe game. Shadow of Mordor is super sick. If you haven't played it before, I highly recommend it. The Nemesis system is awesome and criminally underutilized. Warner Brothers, looking at you. Put it in another game. It's not that hard. You can do it. You own the rights to it. Right after Shadow of Mordor, we got Shadow of War, which is Shadow of Mordor perfected, in my humble opinion. Just a more badass version of Shadow of Mordor, honestly, is basically it. And it's funny that it has the little Blu-ray stuff on the side for the digital movies, because I own all the physicals down below me. Next, we got one of the most goated games on PlayStation 4, Spider-Man Complete Edition. We love Spider-Man. This was one of the, well, in my opinion, is the best Spider-Man game definitively. So we can see that. I remember buying this when it came out as well. I believe this was another 2018 game. I get my years mixed up a lot, but I'm pretty sure this was 2018, and I purchased it in 2018. Next up, we got one of my favorites as well, Stardew Valley Collector's Edition. Love, love, love Stardew Valley. I've played hundreds of hours, if not like at least 1,000 hours. But the cool thing about this is it's the Collector's Edition, so it actually has the soundtrack on a CD. It might have been trying to focus on my face just then. Sorry, guys. You have the soundtrack on a CD, as well as the regular game disc. And then you get a mini guidebook as well as a map in the box as well. I really wish this had a sleeve. I might get a sleeve made for it. But if I were to ever like sell any of my collection, which I'm not planning on doing because most of this is like stuff that I want to hold on to, that I'm very dear to. If I were to ever sell anything, this one would never go. I absolutely love Stardew Valley. It has a very special place in my heart. That game has never left me when I needed it. Next up, Star Wars Battlefront. This is an affront to Battlefront games everywhere. I don't care what anybody says. This was the worst one. I have it for the sake of completing the set because I did play it a lot, because this was the only like high-res, high-fidelity Star Wars game that we had at the time. But not the best. And then followed closely behind it after all the fiasco stuff, this game actually got pretty good. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Star Wars Battlefront 2 was actually pretty badass. Now, of course, we live in the era of like DLC and microtransactions and all that crap. So that gets a little bit frustrating. But for all intents and purposes, Battlefront 2 compensated for all the sins of Battlefront 1. And I actually played a ton of this game, both on PlayStation, PC, and on, oh, my ear's itching, Xbox, whenever I had an Xbox. So, because I believe it came with it. Next up, we got ESO Morrowind. I'm not sure why I own this. Because, like, I play ESO, or used to play ESO, but I'm not sure why I own this specifically. And I'm pretty sure at one point I owned a, like, sealed copy of it in some way, shape, or form that I think I traded in somewhere because I was like, oh, I don't need, like, 2 or 3 of these. It's kind of ridiculous, but, yep. After that, this last but not least, The Last of Us Remastered. Because I gotta have a copy of The Last of Us on literally every single platform. Every platform it was released on. And a lot of people make fun of this. They're like, do we really need 3 versions of The Last of Us? But I mean, really, when you think about like the time that The Last of Us was made, it was mainly a relevancy thing. Because like, if they're not gonna, you know, if they're not going to keep it in the rotation, kind of like how they do God of War, where they would do like God of War re-releases from PS2 on PS3. We've always had that kind of stuff. I don't think it's ever like too soon or too late to do that. But I can understand how some people are like, dude, this is like the 5th copy of The Last of Us we've gotten in the past like 4 years. What the fuck are they doing? Like, just make a new game. And eventually we got The Last of Us Part 2. But yeah, I definitely get it. Fair criticism. But yeah, without further ado, I guess let's jump into the PS5 version of the collection from past me, because with future me, they're all on the shelf right here. So have fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we have the last gauntlet of games, gamut, gauntlet, whatever the fuck, that we're going to go through. My collection for PS5 is pitiful compared to my other stuff, but mainly because I haven't been a conscious collector during the PS5 generation, and not a lot of stuff has come out that I'm excited to get on it. So PS5 collection's looking pretty pitiful, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on it. First up, Expedition 33. If you know, you know. If you haven't played it, what are you doing? Expedition 33 is absolutely baller. One full sweep game of the year. It's awesome. Next up, we got Elden Ring Night Rain. I'm super lucky to have been able to get, or not lucky, I don't want to say, but I'm glad to have gotten most of my PS5 games new. Because this will be like the part of my collection that holds up the best. Everything else isn't in like terrible condition or anything, but it feels good to have the smooth cases. As stupid as that sounds. Elden Ring Night Rain, super fun. Didn't play a whole lot of it because I didn't have time, and now I'm kind of like behind the curve, but it was fun. It's really good. I love Elden Ring so much I have it tattooed on my torso, and that brings us into the next one, of course. Elden Ring itself. Haven't cleaned the sticker off this case yet, but I'll get around to it eventually. But Elden Ring PS5, gotta love it, gotta love it. Huge Elden Ring fan. Next we have Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, the best recent Dragon Ball game, IMO. Love Sparking Zero, just like the Budokai Tenkaichi days, except with some more DLC. Sorry, it's kind of dry here, having a hard time with sinuses and whatnot. And on from Dragon Ball Z, we've got Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. This is one of my favorite Dragon Ball games as well, surprisingly enough. I really love Kakarot. It's really fun. I haven't played a whole lot recently, but I played a lot of it back, I think maybe a year and a half ago or so. Played a ton of it. And it was super fun. And I played it on PC, and I was like, oh, I really want trophies for this. So I eventually got it for PlayStation and started doing a little bit of the trophy hunting on PlayStation, but not a whole lot. Next up, Doom: The Dark Ages. If you guys remember, I gave away a copy of this whenever it came out, close to when it came out. Yeah, love it. It's Doom: The Dark Ages. I got the platinum on it. First platinum that I ever got in my adult life, like with my current PlayStation account. Absolutely baller game. I love it. Not a lot of people did, I guess. You either loved it or hated it. I loved Doom: The Dark Ages. It's super sick. Next up, Diablo 4. Haven't played a lot of it on PlayStation. This is more of like a completing a set thing because I love having the Diablo games, but Diablo 4 is still pretty fun because I still play it on PC, so not a lot of time in it on PS5, but that's going to change this year. That's going to be one of my games this season that I pump some more time into. Demon's Souls is our next victim. Still haven't cleaned this case yet or anything either. I don't remember exactly when I bought this copy of Demon's Souls, but I just wanted a physical copy to go on PS5. And the PS3 copy of it's so expensive. I should have one just for the sake of like completion because I really love Demon's Souls. I played the first one, but it's so expensive to get one. Almost to the point where it doesn't really make sense to do, but you know, it is what it is. Next up, we got Death Stranding Director's Cut. This is why I don't have Death Stranding on PS4s because I have the Director's Cut on PS5. And it is Death Stranding. It's just a really good game. I like Death Stranding a lot. I haven't beaten it. I've seen other people beat it. I'm not such a fan of it that I'm going to play DS2, even though DS2 is super good from everything that I've seen. I just don't have time for that. Not in the amount of time that the game will demand, you know, and that it deserves. But it is what it is. Next up, sealed copy of Cult of the Lamb. I love my sealed copies of my little indie games. I get to keep this one sealed because I have it digitally. Cult of the Lamb is super sick. Sealed copy of Borderlands 4, same thing. I already have it digitally. Don't need to open this one. and sealed copy of Borderlands 3 Ultimate Edition. Have it digitally, don't need to open it. A lot of these are sealed. A lot of my PS5 games are sealed, which I'm kind of proud of. Some of these are going to be unsealed, like Ghost of Yotei is not going to be sealed for long. But some of these will be, so it's gonna be cool having some sealed games in the collection later on down the road. But for right now, we do what we do. Until Dawn, gonna stay sealed. Just needed a physical copy of it. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, not sealed. Only one in the 2K space that I don't have sealed. But I do have the collector's edition of this, though. I do have like the butt stallion stuffy in the book and everything, like on my shelves back here behind me on the top shelves right above the camera shot. Witcher 3 complete edition PAL for PS5, had to have this. Not really gonna get a copy of The Witcher 3 for PS4 because I have one for PS5 and I own it on PC and I own it digitally on PlayStation, so because I bought it before I was like into digital games. But this the PAL copy actually does play on American PS5s, which I was kind of surprised to see that it wasn't region locked. But you know, I'm not used to buying PAL stuff, so. One of my favorites, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Had a lot of fun with this game. One of the PS5 launch titles, close to launch. Super fun game. Love Rift Apart. I was going to platinum this one as well, but it's just one of those things where I ran out of time. Kena Bridge of Spirits Deluxe Edition. Just bought this recently. It is sealed for right now. I will unseal it to play it because so many people keep recommending me to play Kena, whatever it is. Eventually it will be unsealed. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, sealed. Not going to unseal it. Have a digital version. Don't need to unseal it. I like it sealed. It's cool. Same thing with Hades. Hades is also a shield. One of the best roguelike games if you've never played it. I own this game on literally every platform that it is sold on. And I have Hades 2 on PC. Hades is just one of my favorite games of all time. I absolutely love it. I will continue to play this game probably for years to come. But Hades, if you haven't played it, I 1000% recommend it, because if you don't like roguelites, I think that game will get you into them full stop. It's awesome. Obligatory copy of GTA 5. I think every collector or every gamer really that's, you know, was born before 2003 probably has a copy of GTA 5. Next up, we've got the God of War Ragnarok Steelbook. I kind of just keep this on the shelf because I love the Steelbook, and I bought the collector's edition. You guys have seen the Mjolnir that sits in the background of my videos. He's actually up there above the camera. But then on top of that, we have our physical copy of Ragnarok as well. So, because they only, in the, you know, collector's edition, they only give you a case and a digital code for it, so you don't actually get the full thing. So we've got the Steelbook and the game, and I'm probably going to get rid of this game case because it's in such bad condition and put it in the Steelbook. That was the plan a long time ago, and I just never got around to it. So that'll slim up a little bit of the fat on the collection as it sits on the shelf right there. Next up, we got Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut sealed. Not going to open it because I've got a digital version. Bought the digital version before I got into physical collecting. Ghost of Yotei sealed. I'm going to unwrap this and play this soon. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. MGS Delta. Love Metal Gear Solid Delta because I love Metal Gear Solid 3 and they're one and the same. Haven't played a whole lot of it yet. I've gotten decently far in it, but I haven't finished it. That's going to be my thing after I platinum some of these PS3 God of War games, is I'm going to go in and I'm actually going to start platinuming other stuff. Just right now I'm in a huge God of War kick for some reason. Next up, Last of Us Part 1, the remake for PS5. Crack that open for you. All my discs are like perfectly upside down and I'm not sure why. Just works out that way sometimes, I suppose. But there is that. Once again, The Last of Us is just a goated series. It's PlayStation, it's Naughty Dog doing what they do best, and PlayStation doing what they do best, and they meet in the middle, which is awesome. So here we go. Got it. And then had to fix the camera. It started tweaking out a little bit. Not sure why. But let's get into the last 5 of the PS5 bunch. So we got the Callisto Protocol Day 1 Edition. We are going to play through this one soon because I really want to. Just haven't had a chance to yet. And then we got Spider-Man Miles Morales, baller Spider-Man superhero game. One of hopefully a long line of Spider-Man games. And then we have our Marvel Spider-Man 2 Launch Edition. Get some extra suits and whatnot. I haven't finished Spider-Man 2 because it wasn't as good as Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales, if I'm being completely honest, but it was still a fairly decent game. It just wasn't the best. Could have definitely been better. One of my favorite games of all time, Space Marine 2. Love Space Marine 2. Just talked on the phone with a buddy earlier about him picking up Space Marine 2 and starting to play it. It's awesome. Absolutely love Space Marine 2. It's baller. Super fun game. And then our very last one, last but not least, Persona 5 Royale in the sleeve with the Steelbook case. Because I love the fucking Steelbook for this one. It's so sick. It's awesome. One of the cooler Steelbooks for PS5 stuff. But, yep, super sick. Love the Persona 5 Steelbook. Hunted this one down for a while, actually. And happened to find it at a game store. Just randomly for a super good price, so went ahead and picked it up. But, yeah, love it. So, yeah, that's it. That's my entire physical game collection as of March, what is today? March 15th, 2026. It will grow. I'm hoping to get to about 400 different titles by the end of this year, but we will see. Time will tell how far I'm able to get with that. It depends on like travel stuff and scheduling and everything. And of course money, because this stuff is not cheap. But yeah, super excited to see what all I can acquire. But as of right now, this is it. So yeah, appreciate you sitting here hanging out with me, listening to me nerd out about these, and yeah, hope you enjoyed it. And comment below if you think I should get into any other kind of collecting or anything. As much as it's obviously proved to be a bit of an issue, but I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. This is my absolute favorite hobby that I have, collecting video games. It's awesome. Because each one of these is a trip somewhere, or you know, a bidding war on eBay, or a weekend, you know, hang out with my buddies or whatever. Not to mention all the hours that I spent playing them as a kid and everything else. So it's absolutely awesome. There's not another medium in the world that I think I would ever be into as much as I am video games, but I do love them to death. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me. Like this video if you liked it. Don't if you don't. Still tell a friend anyways. It helps a lot. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. The next video should be about these consoles back here and controllers and all that good stuff. As soon as some that I sent off to be repaired are returned to me, I will hop into making that video. But for now, you are left with copious piles of games. So yeah, thanks guys. I appreciate it as always. Stay beautiful, stay easy. Love you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.